Max, I love it. It's a great story. You have to keep us up to date with it.
Oh, please do. And
right.
if anybody has any leads, please let me know. Please let me know.
Wowza! Hi there! You guys are invested in this little series. So during quarantine, I've been looking for this woman, the stock picture in a frame I was gifted 2 years ago, and I decided to call her Sarah. At the end of the last video, I dangled the option for you guys to get involved, and boy, did you. The Reddit hashtag Find Sarah was created, and it's popping. I've had literally hundreds and hundreds of emails, some with incredible leads, some with leads. One of you think that Sarah is your vet and you're going to ask whether she did any modelling the next time your cats needs a checkup. Let me know how that goes. I've now got more leads than Carol Baskin's bedroom. So let's talk about them, starting with Ferial Unez. Ferial Unez is a name I've got a lot. I've had emails, I've had calls. One of you made a PDF of Ferial. Ferial Unez. How do you say that name? How to say the following name? I don't know how to pronounce Siobhan. It's Siobhan. Ferial Unez. And it all started because in the last video I mentioned that the picture of Sarah is being used by a lot of people to catfish. It states that Ferial is a managing director of a salon called Fosh by Ferial, which is a salon in the Burj Al Arab in Dubai, one of the most luxurious and exclusive hotels in the world. See, it's coming full circle because I'm posh. So it would be weird for the managing director to be catfishing. There wasn't much on LinkedIn about her, and neither on Instagram, but I did do a bit of stalking about the Unez name, the family name, and I came across Magda. Not only did she have a slight resemblance to Sarah, I thought they looked pretty similar, I also found that Magda had tagged Fosh by Ferial in one of her pictures, which made me believe that it was the real deal. They do mani-pedis and everything else. I had a browse through Facebook and I found Magda again, and scrolling through her cover photos, who do I see? Oh ho, someone who looks quite a lot like Sarah. I then found Ferial's Facebook, and although Ferial's profile picture seems to have been taken by a potato, I do think there is a resemblance there. Remember, I think this photo was taken about 15 years ago. Now, since I found this out, I've messaged Magda, I've messaged Ferial, I've messaged the salon, I even found an address on Company's House. I've even written a handwritten letter to that address, asking whether she is the wonderful Sarah, and I guess we have to cross our fingers, and it's a sticker, and wait and see. I'm using my one government-sanctioned run of the day to post the letter. Next. I wanted to get more eyeballs on this story. And luckily, everyone's favourite Australian model, Demi Bryant, the woman I initially thought was Sarah, had a friend who was a producer at Sunrise, Australia's biggest national breakfast television programme. Not sure whether that's right, but it sounds more important. Sunrise gave me a quick call. Hey Fosh, you want to get on the show? And obviously I said yes.
Max Fosh joins us now from London. Max, when I first read about this story in the briefing notes, I thought, this bloke must be really creepy. You don't seem creepy.
That was the banter out the way, and we just cracked on with the rest of the interview.
You're like a young Louis Theroux, I think. There's a program in all of this separately.
So I've got a booklet here, which is my trusty Pugosaurus booklet, which has got all the notes on the case at the moment.
I'm a consummate professional and always come prepared, and you can tell by my background being the recycling I'd forgotten to take down earlier in the day, which included some crunchy nut clusters and an empty Foster's can.
I know that the photo is most likely taken in 2001 to 1999.
She looks like an American. Do you agree? I think she looks like an all-American girl.
I do agree. I also think she looks quite Aussie, which is why when Demi's name popped up, I got very excited. I thought, I could see that. You're on Bondi, you quick photo shoot and you're done.
Lots of people have been using lockdown to, learn German, do a bit of cooking, Do you feel like you've spent your lockdown productively so far?
Sam, I tried to make a shepherd's pie, which went terribly wrong, so I'll stick to finding Sarah.
Have you imagined that meeting, that first minute of meeting, come face to face? What will you be wearing? Will you have flowers? Have you?
I think, Gotchi, I'll make a promise that if I do ever meet her, I'll bring her some flowers.
Max, I love it. It's a great story. You have to keep us up to date with it.
Oh, please do. And
right.
if anybody has any leads, please let me know.
So where do we send it to?
Well, send it to us.
Send it to us and
if
we'll
anybody
pass it on.
knows Sarah, send it to us and we'll get in touch with Max again.
Yeah, we'll have all the details on the website.
We won't lose his number because I feel like we could have a job for Max at some
I reckon
point.
we could too.
Oh, guys,
That'd be
please.
great.
I'm looking for some work.
It's fantastic.
Very amusing. Thank you, Max. Good luck. Stay in touch.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
What a great, that is the story of the
It's
day.
so good.
Now, with it being the story of the day, I got a bunch of new leads, which I'm going to do a quick fire round of the best of the rest. Now, these are all leads I'm actively following up on, so I'll keep it brief. I've got in touch with a stock photo expert. His name is Jim Pickerel.
Oh, Jim. That smile. So he's testified in a number of court cases about stock photography. To be fair, I could very well be involved in a court case soon if this gets a bit out of hand. Hi, is that Jim Pickerel?
Speaking.
If I sent you over an email with some of the information that you could be able to help, I'll obviously pay for your time.
You know, I guess I can put something in the newsletter that says to send something to my subscribers.
Wonderful, thank you so much.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day. Don't say it back. Don't worry, don't worry at all. Could be a lead. Let's park that.
A lot of people suggest that Sarah could be called Alana, who was photographed by a German photographer called Ralf Stachelbach.
He is a photographer and has done lots of photography. That's what photographers do. What insight here on the Max Fosh channel. They thought that Alana looked quite similar to Sarah. Do you think so? Next lead.
The name Rohan Pihan came out a lot, a Czech photographer who used one of Sidney Schaffer's images on the front of his book about DSLRs. Messaged, still waiting.
I'm going to send them both an email and a Facebook message. Really cross all the gut, was it? Really cover the bases.
Now, I've always been told to save the best till last, to keep the audience engaged. And I think that somebody has legitimately found Sarah. The problem is, they cannot tell me who she is. Ugh. Remember the head archivist back at Getty? Yeah, the one that left me on scene? He replied to my message and said this. Hi Max, yes, we are looking at it. We have found some stuff out, so seeing if legally we can share anything. Just usual privacy stuff, as you can imagine. Now, to me, that sounds like he has found who Sarah is, but because of that pesky red tape, he can't tell me. This is my biggest lead. I honestly think that Getty know who she is, but they can't tell me. That is frustration, but in the meantime, you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for all of your messages, all of your emails, even the one about the vet. I hope your cat's okay. And I truly, truly believe that we will find Sarah. And remember, if I find her, I'm flying out to wherever she lives, and I am taking a picture of her. And Kochi, I'll bring some flowers. Bye.
So I just got a reply from Jim. Remember stock photo Jim, stock photo expert Jim, stock photo newsletter Jim. I've got the email, haven't opened it yet. Let's basically see what he's got to say. Oh. Jim's a man of words. He's just replied, sorry, I can't help. Identifying stock pictures and breaking hearts since 1954. Cheers, Jim.